Hey everybody, Eric Smith here with a random Sunday video about comic books, or maybe it's a video about videos of comic books. I don't know. What I'm talking about here today is regular viewers may have noticed I've done a couple reviews of trade paperbacks, comic book trade paperbacks. I did The Wrong Earth, and I did The Department of Truth. And first of all, does that stuff interest anybody? Let me know. But second, and mainly, I was thinking about new comic books, and the reviews I did for these trades I released on Thursday, and Comic Book Day is Wednesday. I know that DC releases their comics on Tuesday, but everybody else still does it on Wednesday. For me, Wednesday is Comic Book Day. And I go to the comic book store on Wednesday after work, I pick up my comics, and sometimes I have issue number 1 of something. So, is anybody interested in me doing a quick review of new books on Thursday? The new books that came out Wednesday, talking about it on Thursday. I figure that way, it's only one day after the issue came out. If it sounds like it's something interesting, you can rush out to your local comic book store and pick up the issue. And when I say new books, I'm talking about number 1s. I'm not going to talk about Avengers 52, unless, it was just something absolutely crazy. Actually, I won't be talking about Avengers 52 because I get Avengers in trade paperback now. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, are you interested in seeing me talk about brand new books that have come out in a timely manner so that you can rush out and get it if it's something that interests you? Would you rather just see reviews of completed miniseries or collected editions? Do you want a mix of both? Let me know. But I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about here. So when I went to the comic book store on Wednesday, picked up my order, there were 3 issue 1s there. So I'm going to talk about all 3 of those. Now, normally, I know this is Sunday, and Wednesday was days and days ago. Normally, if this is something you want to see, this is a video that would have gone up last Thursday. Of course, I'm always talking about as of this recording. So, let's say this coming Wednesday, there's only one thing I'm getting, as far as I know, that would qualify for this, and it's actually just a one-shot. But so Wednesday, I'll go to the comic book shop, I'll get my comics, I'll get home, I'll read that one-shot, and then do a quick review. It'll go up on Thursday. Following along? Of course you are. You're all smart people. You know what I'm talking about. And all right, so before I get to this, it's my phone. I actually have in my Samsung Notes, I love my new comic book store, and every Thursday they send out an email with a list of everything that's coming in the following week, and then I make a list in my notes. Can't really see that very well, but so right there, I'm hooked to my charger. Can't see that at all. Oh, wait, there we go. I have a list of everything that's coming in for me on Wednesday. And there's like an issue 3, an issue 2, an issue 5, an issue 4, which I think completes that issue 5 for one thing, that issue 4 for another, completes those miniseries. So I might be able to talk about those at some point, but there's a one-shot. That's the thing I would talk about. Anyway, that's all neither here nor there. Let's put that back. Let's talk about these. So, essentially, let's imagine it's Thursday and these just came in yesterday. So, these are the issue number 1s. These are all, 2 of them are definitely miniseries. I assume this one's a miniseries. You can't see what I'm talking about. But anyway, not that it matters. So let's just get going. I'm rambling. So first up, I have SpiderMan's Shadow #1. And this is by Chip Zdarsky, Pasquale Ferry, and Matt Hollingsworth. If you look right up there, it says, What If? So back in the day, I think it started in the 70s, Marvel had a series called What If? That was alternate takes on famous Marvel Comics stories. So you had, what if Uncle Ben hadn't died? What if Captain America hadn't disappeared after World War II? What if Doctor Doom became the Sorcerer Supreme? And they would take one little event and tweak it and show us what happened with after that tweak. So I think it's in What If Uncle Ben Hadn't Died. I mean, that's, it seems. I know there's one where this happens, but it basically, Peter Parker stops the burglar at the wrestling match, and so that guy's not out there in the world to kill Uncle Ben. So what happens in Peter Parker's life? What happens with Spider-Man if Uncle Ben hadn't died? That's sort of the driving force to him becoming a superhero. But what if that didn't happen? So it was an anthology book. Every issue was a completely different story. I think it had completely different creative teams. Some issues had even 2 or 3 stories in them. So what they're doing now, it's a long preamble. What they're doing now is they're doing a series of mini-series. So, and What If is sort of the tag, but it's not part of the title. This is just Spider-Man, Spider's Shadow. And it's going to be 4 issues. It's just, you can get these 4 issues. You've got a complete set. But it does say, there's a little sort of an explanation. In the original What If, Uatu the Watcher was the narrator of our story. And he'd say, on our Earth, Earth 616, this is what happened. But what if it didn't happen? On a different Earth, things went differently. Well, we don't have that. We just have a little synopsis of what happened originally, and then it says, but what if Spider-Man had kept the suit? In this case, it's basically what if Peter Parker became Venom. So what if he hadn't gotten rid of the symbiote suit? And fantastic. Do I want to show that page? I think we can show this one. I love the artwork. I've always been a fan of Pasquale Ferry. I'm a huge fan of Chip Zdarsky's writing. And so this is, again, just the beginning of the story. It's going to be 4 issues. And I love alternate histories. I'm a huge fan of What If. I have 4 volumes collecting the original series down on my trade paperback shelf over there. So if you're a fan of Chip Zdarsky's writing, if you're a fan of alternate histories, if you like the whole idea of What If, I highly recommend this. And again, it's going to be 4 issues, and then I think, don't take my word for it, I think Chip Zdarsky is curating this series of series. Not 100% sure. I don't know if he's writing all of them or just curating the series itself, or it could be completely off. I just feel like I heard that somewhere. There's a little history of What If at the back of this issue, and it shows, it has, what if Captain America hadn't vanished during World War II? I said at the end. What if Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four? What if Spider-Man's Uncle Ben had lived? Just showing some of the classics there. But yeah, so this is issue 1. It should be available at your local comic shop unless people went nuts and bought them all up. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one. It's good stuff. Next, we have issue #1. Oh, and of course that's from Marvel. Does that even need to be said? Next, we have issue #1 of Phantom on the Scan. This is from Aftershock, and it's by Cullen Bunn and Mark Torres. And I feel like it's a mini-series, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't say for sure. But it's about, doesn't that kind of look like Keanu Reeves? It's about people with psychic abilities that are dying in mysterious and horrendous ways. And our main character, this Keanu Reeves looking guy, gathers up, finds the names of other people with psychic abilities, and gathers them together so they can all try to figure out what the heck is going on. There's some artwork where our character is meeting them for the first time in a diner. I don't know how well this shows up when I hold it up like that, because I can't see it. I'm holding it in front of the camera. And it's also got these sort of classified documents at the end that give us maybe a little hint of what might be going on. I'm a huge fan of Cullen Bunn. I like when he's doing his own stuff. I mean, I like him well enough when he's doing other properties, if he's writing for Marvel or whatever, but I like it even more when he's doing his own thing. This is really interesting. This just sets things up. We're just meeting these characters. We're seeing the bizarre things that are happening. The final page on here is fantastic. I'm not going to show it to you because it's a cliffhanger kind of thing. But this is another one that I recommend. No history to it. You're just jumping in. Boom. Phantom on the scan. I definitely would recommend it, as I would recommend most of Cullen Bunn's work, if not all of it. But there you go. Psychics, mystery, conspiracy maybe, freaky stuff happening. Not for the faint of heart. There are some graphic scenes, but definitely very, very cool. I don't want to show you too much. I think that was one of the safe pictures I could show you, because anything else might give things away. I don't know. But people with psychic abilities, cool stuff. Think along the lines of Firestarter or The Institute. I love that kind of stuff. And then finally, from Titan Comics, this is a Hard Case Crime comic book. And it's actually the second mini-series with this character. I missed out on the first one, but it's available in collected edition. I'm going to be picking it up. But this is Minky Woodcock, the girl who electrified Tesla. And this is by Cynthia Von Bueller. She's the writer and the artist. As I said, it's a hard case crime. It's from Titan Comics. It's beautiful, beautiful artwork. I really dig the look of it. And so Minky Woodcock is a young woman. Her father is a private investigator. And he's got, let me see if I can find the picture here to show you. It says Woodcock and Son, but she's covered it up with daughter. Woodcock and Son, private investigations. She covered it with daughter. The son is not interested at all. Her dad is in the hospital, so when J.P. Morgan Jr. Comes to her about Tesla, she takes the case and shenanigans ensue. I'm a big fan of hard case crime, although the books are hit and miss. When they hit, they really, really hit. And so I do have, at the moment, only one of their comics. I have the collected edition of a Dwayne Straczynski, but I believe Krista Faust has one. I need to pick that up. And I'm definitely going to pick up the other Minky Woodcock, which is the girl who handcuffed Houdini. It's beautiful art. It's a fascinating story. And it's historically accurate. There's a little essay in the back, fact versus fiction. And so she talks about, there's a little bullet point thing here where she just talks about some of the facts, and then she talks about her research and when she learned these weird things and how she incorporated them into the story. So that's fascinating. I always like the mix of history and fiction in something like this. It's the kind of thing that Max Allan Collins does a lot of. I have a couple of his hard case crime books over there. But so this was, I saw Hard Case Crime when I was going through the previews catalog. I saw this art. I read the little synopsis. It sounded interesting, so I ordered it. And I'm very glad that I did. As I said, amazing artwork. And this says, written and illustrated by Cynthia Von Bueller. So, I'm going to say pencils, inks, coloring, all of it. She didn't do the lettering. There is someone credited for the lettering. But, it's a fantastic, gorgeous book. Very interesting. It's got a cliffhanger. And should I show that? And actually, for regular viewers, for anybody who's watched my Secret History of the World from F. Paul Wilson, there's actually some talk in here that I was going to say connects to one of the Repairman Jack books, but only because this comic and that Repairman Jack book talk about something that's actually happened, something in the real world. So they're both have a basis in this actual thing. But anyway, it has to do with Tesla. So that's, I feel like, I don't know, I haven't talked much about the plot, but it's a mystery, so there's not much that I can say because I don't want to give anything away. But that's the girl, Minky Woodcock, the girl who electrocuted Tesla. Electrified. Have I been saying electrocuted this whole time? I don't know, and I'm not going to go back and check. But the girl who electrified Tesla. And again, highly recommended. So that's it. Those are the 3 issue 1 comics that I picked up on Wednesday, which in reality was 4 days ago, but we're going to act like it was a day ago because this is now Thursday, even though it's really Sunday. You know, I'm sort of trying to give you the feel of what I want to do in the future, if anyone's interested. And that's basically what I'm going to do, if anyone's interested. I'll grab my issue 1s or one-shots. I'll read them real quick. I'll talk about them, and then you'll have time to go out. I know some comic book shops don't buy a lot of copies that they aren't necessarily going to sell. My old comic book shop, something like this, would only order this if someone specifically pre-ordered the book. You wouldn't find this on the shelf. My new comic book shop, they're going to have extras on the shelf. I don't know how your local comic shop works, but I prefer knowing ahead of time. You know, sometimes even a week later, they're going to be sold out. So that's my plan, is to give you time to get down to your comic shop and get them. Or maybe people who watch my channel don't care about comic books at all. So let me know down in the comments below. Do you want to see this sort of video? They will be less rambly. But do you want to see this sort of video? Should I just talk about completed miniseries and collected editions? Should I not talk about comic books at all? When I do talk about them, are you interested in any type of comic book? Do you want me to stick to horror and thriller and the odd types of things? You know, are you more interested in this type of thing? I mean, this isn't a normal comic book story, but, you know, do you care about mainstream stuff? Again, should I not talk about it at all? Should I stick to books and interviews and stuff? Let me know. Let's get down in the comments and talk about it. Tell me what you want to see. it may or may not affect what I decide to do. But if you have any comments, questions, corrections, put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comics, board games, and fuzzy animals, is ErikSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. All right, that's it. So until next time, read more books.